Ah, ladies and gentlemen, in life, if you work hard and you persevere, then success is bound to come for you. And this is what we're going to talk about Michaela Mudrik, who has scored an absolute banger yesterday, last night in European times against Malta. I know it's Malta, but nonetheless, you've got to commend and you've got to appreciate the personal performance that he's put out. We're going to talk about Michaela Mudrik, and we've got a couple of injury conversations to make. There's some reports that's been coming out for Carney Chukwuemeka, but most importantly, there's some reports coming out for Reece James as well, ladies and gentlemen. It just continues. Reece James, injury stuff just keeps rolling on. Let's go. All right. Here we go. Back again on the other side of the coin. Welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. First up, we want to talk about Michaela Mudrik. Look, do you know what? He didn't start off the season that great. The preseason was actually quite decent enough. It looked like something was about to happen. Something was brewing. His connection with Nicholas Jackson, the goal he scored against Brighton, it was all looking very good. And then come the season, the start of the Premier League season, when it started, he didn't play. He didn't play often enough. And whenever he did get the opportunity to play, he didn't look sharp. He didn't look good at all. And Pochettino in recent times has mentioned that it was taking Michaela Mudrik a bit of time initially to understand instructions, to actually understand how to play as a team, as opposed to just playing for himself or just focusing on his own individual performance. You need to understand exactly what the team is trying to do. And over the past few games, just before he got injured in that Fulham game, I believe, and then against the Burnley game, he was on the bench. His performances were very, very good leading up to that Fulham game where he scored as well in the first half. So, look, now he, in the international break, scores a magnificent goal against Malta, an absolute banger, long-range shot, drifting from the left, cutting inside on the right, and then whipping a shot in. Fantastic finish. A lot of people out there saying, "Oh, but it's Malta. Come on, why are you losing your brains for a goal against Malta?" Look, at the end of the day, you can only do what is in front of you, and you have to appreciate the level of performance that's been put out individually in this instance. And for me, it wasn't just the goal. His overall game for the team was absolutely excellent as well. I saw the highlights of the game against Malta. There was actually another chance in the first half where he could have scored an absolute blinder as well. I believe that time it was with his left foot, but the goalkeeper makes an excellent save to keep that shot away from goal. Overall, the bottom line here with Michaela Mudrik, ladies and gentlemen, is that perseverance, hard work, dedication, determination, all of these things, if you're honest and you're true to yourself, and you're your best sort of self-assessor, you look at yourself in the mirror and you can say to yourself, do you know what? I've put in the hard yards. I guarantee you success will come your way. Barely anyone out there can say, and you guys let me know in the comment section if you've ever gone through a certain scenario in life where you've worked your backside off and you've given it your best and you've done it for a consistent amount of time that success didn't come for you. And even if it didn't, at least you can always say, you know what? I've given it my best. But more times than none, I kid you not, success will come for you. And I feel like Michaela Mudrik, the manner he is progressing at the moment, he is on the verge of exploding. He's literally on the verge of exploding. And I also appreciate, and I guess this is why we got someone like Mauricio Pochettino, who's so, natural. He's so, his connection with young players comes very naturally. And the way he put his arm around Michaela Mudrik and really invested time and effort to get the best out of his performance, best out of him in match days. Honestly, that's commendable as well from Mauricio Pochettino's side of things. He's definitely helped this particular player out to perhaps slowly but surely unlocking him. So this is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Scores a goal in the international duty. Overall, has had a very good international, break. Well, international break as in matches in international. When I say international break, as in break from the domestic scene. So now it puts a bit of a spanner as to what happens once the domestic scene starts again. We've got a match against Arsenal coming up. I would love to see this particular player start, but I do have a feeling that Mauricio Pochettino most likely is going to go with Raheem Sterling on the left, Cole Palmer on the right, and Gallagher through the middle, with Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo playing as the double pivot. But I would love to. My preference would be Mykhailo Mudryk on the left, Cole Palmer through the middle, Sterling on the right, up front Nicholas Jackson. But that's just my preference. I completely understand that that's probably not going to happen because at the moment Gallagher is absolutely undroppable. Fully understand it, fully get it, and I've got no qualms if it's Sterling, Jackson, Palmer, and Gallagher who starts against Arsenal, and looks like that's probably what's going to happen. But my preference would be Mudryk on the left and Sterling on the right, Palmer through the middle, just behind Nicholas Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought about Mykhailo Mudryk's performance over the international scene, and would you start him against Arsenal Football Club? It would be so poetic, wouldn't it? A player that was looking to go to Arsenal doesn't go there, ends up at Chelsea Football Club, and then starts at Stamford Bridge against them. And it would be nice if Mudryk scores a goal or even contributes to a goal, which I feel like, as I said, he's now on the verge of doing something absolutely brilliant. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Carney Chukwuemeka has been suffering with a knee pain again. Look, just when we look like we've gotten over our injury issues and players are slowly coming back, then we start hearing these sort of news where it seems like it's going to prolong a little bit longer. And Carney Chukwuemeka, there was some report not that long ago. I'm pretty sure Chukwuemeka was in the bench against Burnley. So what does this mean in the bigger spectrum of things? Is he back into the injury scene again? Is he going to go through rehabilitation again? God knows. We shall wait for the reports to come out. But once again, setbacks. Like, we need to understand why our players can't seem to get fit. We have to understand this. Is it the medical staff? Is it what they're eating? Is it the way they're training? Is it too heavy? Is it very much lopsided where they're focusing on gym and not so much on stretching and all the other stuff? I don't know. Something is definitely wrong. The most important one that I want to talk about is Reece James, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. Reece James sustained an injury in training over 10 days ago. So we didn't hear about this. We've finally now heard this from Nathan Gissing, who's also mentioned about Chukwuemeka. What do I say about Reece James? What do I say? Last few videos, some of you guys have been quite aggressive with me in the comment section saying, oh, here we go. Miz now giving up on Reece James. I like Reece James a lot. A lot. I think he's one of the very few world-class players that have come out from Cobham. On his day, when he's fully fit, he's definitely world-class. For me, he's absolutely world-class. But what good is he if he's never fit? And now, seems like 10 days ago, he sustained an injury whilst training. He underwent a scan, which was deemed fine, and has been training alone. So he's been training alone for the past 10 days, it seems like. So he's definitely not going to be available for the Arsenal game. As it's said over here, he's a doubt for Chelsea's clash against Arsenal on Saturday. Definitely, if you're not training with the team and you're training alone, you're not getting thrown into the match against Arsenal. And that's fine. Look, I'm not worried at the moment. Gone are those days where we used to be worried on that right side or even on the left side. That, oh, look at the backups. They're just not adequate enough. But now we don't need to have that worry because we've got someone like Malo Gusto. And even if Malo Gusto's not around, we've got Cucurella, who's done a stunning job on that right side. But it just leaves us with a greater discussion, a bigger discussion as to what does the future hold for Reece James. I mean, this season, he's barely featured. Even in the preseason, that wasn't an injury, but he was ill. He went to preseason later. And then the season started, picks himself an injury, and I believe he came back from injury and then got injured again immediately when he did come back. I could be wrong, or was he injured all this time? I don't know. I've lost track. I literally have lost track about his injury issues now. He's been so injury prone since he started his career at Chelsea Football Club. It's not even funny. I don't know why he's not taking that surgery that he's meant to on his knee. I don't know whether the latest injury is actually knee related. There is a whole heap of muscle stuff that's going on. There's a lot of stuff that's happening with Reece James from an injury front, which honestly, this particular player, every time he seems like he's on the verge of coming back, and as soon as he gets into team training, something happens, a setback happens, just like now. And if it's happening during training, can you imagine during match intensity when you have to go 150% all the time? You've got to give in your best effort. What's going to happen then? What's the longevity for Reece James? Can he last an entire season? Can we expect Reece James to play, 80% of a season? Forget 80%. Can he even feature 50% of the time? Because right now, that's not even happening. So, look, as I said, at the end of this season, there will be massive, massive judgment on players like Reece James, Ben Chilwell, and all the other injury-prone players. Are you worthy? Is it worth keeping you at Chelsea Football Club if you don't even feature and you're on hefty wages as well? If someone like a Real Madrid, who have been rumored with Reece James in recent times, they come along, putting down on the table a smart amount of money, and they've barely featured for Chelsea this season, then we do need to think about it. But as I said, at the end of the season, right now, it is what it is. It's sad. He's our captain as well. We need the captain's presence in the team. He's barely around. So we have to wait and see what happens till the end of the season, and we'll make an assessment exactly what we need to do and where we need to be with Reece James and a few of the other injury-prone players that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this particular news segment. Please let me know how you feel about Mykhailo Mudryk. Do you feel like he's on the verge of exploding into a monster player? And also let me know about the injuries in regards to Chukwuemeka, but most specifically in regards to Reece James. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time, see ya.